Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
Oh, hey, Internet, and welcome back to the Intoxicated Podcast. I am your host, Sarah McClellan. And if you're brand new to this podcast, this is a weekly comedy variety talk show where I get personal with comedians, creators, and characters. This week's guest is a returning guest, first-time solo guest on the podcast, someone I enjoy so much. This week I welcome Tishina Tush. So last year, Tishina did the Valentine's Day episode with all of the tongue-in-cheek ladies. Back in February of last year, Adrienne Gabriel and Alva Marie Sparkles put on this awesome comedy, drag, burlesque extravaganza. It was just amazing. And that's when I met Tish, and I adore her. She is the human version of Serotonin. She is so colorful and entertaining and talented and just all around awesome. She, of course, shares my love of TikTok. She's very active on TikTok, so I'm going to plug her TikTok right away. You got to follow her on there. She is at Tishina_sunny_day, which is her drag king persona as well. So this week's character plays many characters, and that is a subject that we cover on this episode a little bit. We talk about performing and all of the aspects of that for Tishina, what that's like, the transition from performance mode to when you're like the real raw you. We also talk about the pandemic and the impact it's had on us. Also talk about sexuality and being gender fluid. And we talk a little bit about kink in this one as well. So this was an all-around fun time. You guys are going to love it. Again, follow Tishina on TikTok. You can also follow her on Instagram at Tishina Tush. I'm going to link below to all of her stuff where you can find her. You really do got to follow her because she's putting on a lot of different virtual shows in these pandemic times where doing real live shows is very hard to do and very inconsistent. Tishina is definitely somebody who has adapted to this pandemic and is truly rolling with it and becoming a true self-starter. And I think that this is kind of becoming a theme of recent episodes lately. So I really do hope you guys enjoy this episode. If you do love the podcast, make sure to follow Intoxicated on social media. Make sure you're subscribed on whatever device you use. An Apple Podcast rating or review would be amazing. That truly does really help out the podcast, and I would greatly appreciate it. But of course, if you can't do any of that, just telling a friend about Intoxicated or giving a share on social media is a great way to help out the show. Also, of course, check out Intoxicated on YouTube. You can check out the Patreon page as well. There's just all kinds of places you can get involved with the podcast. But for now, I hope that you buckle in and listen to this awesome episode because it's a wild ride. It's a great one. So let's just get right to it. I hope you guys enjoy this week's episode with the very awesome and colorful Tishina Tush. When was that? What was your? Before?
Oh God, I'm so old.
You're only 3 years older than me. You're not old.
You know that song, No, I'm Not 20 Anymore? Yeah, that's how I feel that.
Does aging scare you?
No.
No? You answered that so quick.
I'm not afraid of age. I'm not afraid of dying. Let's bring it. Let's do this.
Really?
No,
I
have a 15-year-old kid. I am not afraid of dying.
How old were you when you... So you were how old?
I was 21.
21, having a kid. I cannot... Yeah. Okay. I feel like there's a lot more to unpack here than I thought.
My girlfriend was 16 when she had her first kid, so...
That's wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be
like so much that we can talk about.
I know. Well, you really opened up the Easter egg when you said kink stuff. I was like, oh my God, I've been thinking about sex for like what feels like a full 48 hours.
Just 2 days, honey.
Well, that, like I said,
baby.
the sex, but like that's the thing. My sex drive has been like close to gone, but I want to get it back. So like I'm like trying to like turn myself on. Like I'm trying to like so I started thinking about like boys that I kind of like, and then I started like kind of fantasizing about it. And I'm like, okay, it's starting to come back a little bit, but like, it's just hard when you don't have. It's just hard when you're on your own, and I totally like. Obviously, almost 10 years single, masturbation's great, but it's just not. It's
well,
not
nobody loves you like you do, right?
It's not the same, though.
No,
it's not the same, and it's not as fun. I don't think.
I agree,
but that's just me. But oh my gosh, okay, we're gonna get into this. Right. I'm very, very, very excited. Welcome back to the Intoxicated Podcast, everybody. This week we have a returning guest. Last time she was here, she was with a lot of other people.
There were so many of us. We can't crowd like that anymore.
But now your ego has room to breathe, baby. Because it's just you. It's Tishina Tush. That's what I'm saying, right? Say Tishina.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. What?
Like that's how I know you.
Tishina Tush or Sunny Day.
Sunny Day.
It's my drag persona.
Like what do you think you are tonight? Like
I am very much Tishina Tush tonight.
Oh, like
very
much. Tishina.
It's part of the whole gender fluidity thing. I use all of the pronouns. So I use she, he, and they.
Do you
so
really?
So you can't misgender me.
See, I did. That's a great joke. I love that. It's like the people pleaser of sexuality.
It really is.
It's like, yeah, you can.
What do you go by? Whatever.
Whatever you want. I didn't know you were gender fluid.
Surprise.
Okay. See, now this is like something that I'm curious about because as someone who's just like you said, a vanilla ass straight girl.
You know what? Vanilla ice cream's nice sometimes.
Lately, I've been thinking about just how often I just assume things. Like, and I'm very open. And I love everybody, and I'm like, I am open, but that I still instantly will go to she, or I will, you know what I mean? Like those.
Or when addressing a crowd, you'll say guys.
Guys, yeah.
I catch myself.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentle thems.
Wait, say it again.
Thadies and gentle thems.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's like that.
Or goblins and fuckwits.
That's good too.
I like that one.
Goblins and fuckwits. I love that. Yeah. So that's interesting. So when did you discover that or figure that out?
I think I've known for a long time. Just because, some days I'll have like exceptionally masculine days where like, no bra and just wanting to wear like the wide strap guy's tank top, the wife.
The muscle beater. Oh yeah.
I hate that term. So the white.
It is really terrible.
Yeah. The white muscle top with no bra, like your stereotypical butch lesbian kind of look.
Yeah.
But I've really come to terms with it in the last year.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I've actually changed a lot of my profiles to actually say, she, he, they pronouns. My child came out to me as non-binary as well.
Oh,
they use they and he pronouns. So like it's kind of almost a family journey for this one, which has been really kind of cool. So I've been growing with my kid in the non-binary
and 15 years old. That's so young. Do you think that like people are coming out much younger in this day and age versus before because it's so much more talked about?
Between that and the fact that we actually have language to do it now is kind of huge. So kids can see the representation. They're like, hey, I actually kind of feel like that. Maybe that's me. And then they can experiment with those terms and those things, and they can ask questions and
right,
actually figure out who the fuck they are instead of wandering blindly like many generations had to.
Did they come to you to be like, I'm going through this thing and I don't know what it is?
They didn't come out to me as non-binary until after I started doing drag. So about 2 years ago when I started doing drag. And
only 2 years?
Yeah, Sunny Day was 2 years old on January 13th.
That's...
I was like, hey, wait, there's a memory on my face. I'm 2. Holy shit, I'm 2. I'm a
You're
toddler.
so wildly talented for only 2 years in.
Don't stroke my ego, babe.
But I want you, Tush.
Okay, do.
I want to stroke. Here's the thing. I just want to stroke something.
Okay, that's valid.
Your ego is what I have here.
I am happy to provide that service.
That's so insane. So they saw you dressing up and doing these characters and experimenting, and then started like talking to you about it.
Yeah,
or?
they're like, "Hey, Mom, I'm not binary." I'm like, "Cool. What do you want me to call you?"
I love that.
And conveniently, their name is kind of it's almost a non-binary name to begin with, because when we were choosing names, I was like, okay, it's really going to be really, really hard for somebody to make fun of this name.
What's the name? Or can we say? No.
They'd rather not.
Okay.
They'd rather me not say. So I won't. But like, just random baby names, and
right.
do the baby names test where you're yelling out their full name when you're angry.
Oh, is that
to
the
make
test?
sure that it sounds good.
Oh, okay.
And their name just worked. And it's one of those names that could go either way.
Oh, okay.
Which
I like that.
which is really cool. So
that is really cool.
They still stick with the name that we gave them, but if they decided to change, they'd be like, cool.
Wow. So yeah, obviously
It might take a bit for me to actually learn it and make it habit.
Yeah.
But
that would be so hard.
But I would start with that. Like, that's an awesome name. I will strive my best to use it. Just know that I've been calling you this name for 15 years, and changing that habit's going to be hard. So I apologize in advance if I use the wrong name. And then always correct.
Yeah.
Don't apologize.
Yeah, everyone says this.
Correct.
Same with pronouns, right?
Yes.
So
If somebody corrects you on somebody's pronouns, and it's happened to me, I've done it. I've misgendered someone unintentionally, and a good friend of mine corrected me. I said thank you and revised.
right. Because they're correcting you because I think
they care.
Because I also think too, like, the correcting is just like, if they didn't correct you, you wouldn't know, and you would just keep going with that habit. But like, the correcting is actually making you make a habit out of remembering
and
it, and also
trying to make you feel bad. It's,
absolutely not. Yeah,
it's an education thing. They're correcting you because they care and they want to make sure that things are okay with everyone involved. And misgendering somebody can really hurt them, and you don't want to do that to people. Like, it's not necessary.
Yeah. So like, I brought this up with Kirsten because I was like, when you meet someone new, when you meet a new friend, is it inappropriate to right out the gate, before you're even that close, just be like, so what's your deal? What?
Well, is that what's your deal?
So, because here's
what does that mean?
Like, what do you identify as? What's your, like, because I find like it's stressful sometimes to talk to people and not know, because then you're scared of fucking up. But then I go, is it appropriate to ask those types of questions to people?
I think it depends on how you phrase it sometimes.
Yeah.
I
guess
learned,
what's your deal is kind of a...
It's kind of like, what kind of deal? Like, are you talking about what kind of deal am I in bed? What kind of deal, like, what kind of TV do I watch? Like,
I guess it's kind of like one of those things, like, if you were talking and you maybe said, like, maybe you assume the person had a boyfriend, but maybe you could say something like your boyfriend, or sorry, like, partner. Like then you kind of feel it out. Like, then you can kind of be like,
well, I've had people ask me, like, people that have seen me as female for my entire life, or even just since they've known me, have known me as female, but not knowing that I am married or what have you. They'll say, oh, does your boyfriend do this thing? Yeah. My partner, yes, he is male. He is also my husband, but I am also polyamorous. So you don't know if I'm talking about my anchor partner, which is my husband, who I have a house with and a child with, or if it's a potential girlfriend or
another boyfriend you have,
or somebody that's non-binary.
Yeah.
Who is a non-binary partner.
Partner's a good, I used to like not love it, but I actually really like
I've
the
been
word
in love
now.
with it since I first heard. I'm like, ooh,
partner.
Ooh.
It really,
it sounds so juicy.
It includes on anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
It's whoever you are a teammate with. in life and love or whatever, you know?
And the thing is too, partner isn't limited to sexual partner.
No.
Like, I had a partner who we were romantically involved, but we didn't sleep together. She's my brain just sort of stopped there for a second. Sorry.
Is it a type of asexual?
Hetero-flexible romantic.
Ooh.
So she was sexually attracted to men.
Okay.
And that is all encompassing, trans men included, because trans men are real men. But with women, she was romantic but not sexually attracted to. So we'd have cuddle dates, and you know we'd kiss and we'd sit and we'd hold hands and watch movies, but we wouldn't fuck. And that was totally cool.
That sounds amazing.
It was pretty great. Because girls are squishy in all the right places, and it's just a good day.
We are. Boobs make great pillows.
Yes.
To lay on.
Yes.
Right? I love boobs.
Boobs are so great.
Yeah, they truly are. I think that's like one of the strongest relationships in my life is my relationship with my boobs.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? Yeah, boobs are pretty awesome.
It's this weird
boobs
thing.
Boobs are
where
awesome.
And this is like another thing we can dive into too, because I think we kind of briefly talked about it when you were last on, but like, you know, body image and confidence and all of that. It's like, geez, I mean, I'm still on that journey. I still don't love everything, and I'm really trying to get there. Because I see so many women who inspire me in that way of just being totally confident, just loving their bodies. And like, it's obvious that they love their bodies. But one thing about me is like, I've always loved my boobs.
You know what? There's always something to love. There's always something to love.
It's just like, I could be like just hating, like, I mean, with pandemic, it's like just the weight gain constantly. And like, you know, I'm not moving my body as much.
It's like
as
constant Christmas break without all the fun.
That's what it is. Yes.
You're always eating comfort food.
Because
which is
we
bad
have
for
to,
you.
because our serotonin has been sucked from our lives because of fucking COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like this vicious cycle.
Absolutely.
How was your lockdown? So you would have been on last February. So you would have been on just before
the
COVID.
Lockdown. Oh my god.
Because your guys' episode was the Valentine's Day episode. Go back and listen to that from last year. It was
we talked about everything. It was delicious.
It was so great. And like that part when we were talking about love, like still sticks out to me so much. Like all of our definitions of love. Like just wild. But how was it for you? So you're a performer. So those are the people I worry most about.
That's so valid because all the
times.
shows were canceled because all the bars were closed. We were breaking into this brand new thing, which was online shows and learning how to do things that we never had to do before. Like I had never edited a video before. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm not technologically savvy like at all. So it was so strange. And the very first video performance I did was, it was As Sunny Day, and it was No Fucks Left to Give by Benjamin Wilde Esquire, and I had actually gotten permission from him.
I think I heard this story on your...
Yeah,
okay.
I was actually given permission from him to perform it in drag, and it was so terrible. Oh my God, I have to redo it because it was that bad. I'm like, I can't show it to people anymore, but I performed it in one take on my back deck. My partner filmed it for me. I was like ripping my pants off, and I had like this foam sword that was just swishing everywhere, and it was ridiculous. And I actually sent it into Justin Too Deep when we did our little show on Twitch, and we're like, we're just throw it in. Who cares? And I had sent him the unedited version.
Is that the one that played on the Christmas show?
Yeah.
I thought it was so
like,
good still.
Oh, well, I was like, I tried to do it twice, but it was still done in one full take, so there was no editing that way. But I had forgotten to overlay the music, so we're outside and you can hear somebody like chopping wood and like I think there's a set of twins that live just down the street from us, and you could hear them playing. I was like, oh my God. And I was like ripping my pants off, and I'm like, what the oh fuck.
Oh no. And are you a perfectionist? So did that drive you absolutely
I didn't even
insane?
realize that I had sent the unedited until it was playing, and it was like, the Twitch was so real. I was mortified. I was almost as mortified by that as I was when my parents were watching the Nightmare Before Triple Xmas show, and I was singing Krampus Darling, which is highly sexual and extremely kinky. And my sister had to type because my sister and my parents were all watching the show online, and she's like, Mom is practically on the floor laughing so hard. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad she took it so well.
Yeah. That's a good response.
Like, okay. So they're okay with me writing parodies of classic Christmas songs that are kinky and sexual. Gotcha. Cool. My parents are cooler than I thought.
I'm still at a stage in stand-up where all my jokes are dirty. Like they just are. And I know it.
And that's one of the reasons I love your jokes.
Thank you. Oh my God. Well, I appreciate that a lot. It's a big insecurity of mine that like all my material is so dirty and like I'd like to learn to write more clean things. It's just like not where I'm at right now. But like it's one of those things where like family, if they ever mention like coming to a show, I'm like,
that was me during the Nightmare Before
I
Triple
don't
Xmas
know
show.
if I'd like that. Like even my new bosses like made a comment being like, oh, we could go and have a beer or what? And I was just like, oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm kind of like at a point where I probably could still do it. But like I would just very much so warn people and be like, you're going to hear things. Very personal things.
Are you sure this is your trigger warning, people?
Yeah, this is
your trigger warning.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. But not only that, but like talking about like I have a joke about being mildly suicidal. Like even stuff like that is like, yeah, my parents probably never knew that about me, so that would be pretty brutal to hear. Too.
Yeah, that could instantly, trigger the oh my God, mommy vibes where they just want to protect you, and it's like, I've already been through it.
Yeah, I'm just joking about it.
I can joke about it now because I've been through it.
That's exactly.
And somebody else might relate to what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And know that they can get through it.
That's a huge part of comedy for me. Is it's so important for me to like have healed the issues that I joke about.
Yeah, I think that's really important, and that in that it can show people that you can get through it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's really freaking inspiring, actually. Like.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty wild. I mean, I think any type of performance is like such a vulnerable thing, but stand-up specifically, with certain types of stand-up, if it's personal stand-up, you're really just taking your heart out and like throwing it on the stage. Yeah, and doing it in a way that is hopefully funny and doesn't leave people worried about you. But it is a very vulnerable art.
I almost feel like comedy is probably makes you more vulnerable than burlesque. And that's burlesque wild. And drag are
You're
inherently
literally showing your boobies.
Well, there's always the potential to have wardrobe malfunctions.
Yeah, but
you try and bank for those. But like even with burlesque and drag being inherently political and can very easily be triggering in so many different ways. Comedy, you're using your voice to do that. Yeah. Whereas we are using between physical comedy and physical emotion, physical portrayal of emotion. It doesn't always come across the same way. No. And whereas your tone, your inflection, your timing means everything.
Truly. Like, oh my gosh, the tone and inflection thing. Like, you could say the same joke. You could do the same joke 3 different ways and have totally different reactions. Mm-hmm. And have it be like the same words, but you're saying them differently. You're inflecting at different, you're pausing at different times. It's fascinating. It's truly
It's a science.
Fascinating. Yeah.
It's a fucking science.
It really, really is.
Where's Bill Nye when you need him?
I'd like to get him to review some of my jokes. Yeah, no, it's and see, for me too, like when I see burlesque shows, like when I saw Tongue in Cheek and I saw like these amazing, like you're also amazing and beautiful and confident and I'm like, I could never do that. Like,
but that's the thing. We
like,
don't always feel that way.
Yeah.
We don't always feel that way. It sometimes it's just, okay, I just need to make it look like I am confident.
Gotcha. Are you a believer in fake it till you make it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In certain things. There's other things where it's fucking practice, bitch.
Yeah.
You practice. But 99% of my stuff is improv.
Yes. Yeah.
I
That's
cannot
wild.
choreograph. I stress cannot. You would see, just like if you've ever watched like Chippendales dance, you can see them counting on their face.
Right.
That would be me. Wow. So I do not choreograph. I have sometimes pinpoints at points in the music. This is what I want to happen at this point in time. How I get there, I don't give a shit. But that's where I want to be at that point in time.
That's actually quite similar to jokes. Sometimes with certain joke structures, you have your key areas that you have to hit, key things you have to do. And then whatever happens around that is magic.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
Like it's whatever feels natural in the moment. I mean, like,
This
number
is
one,
filler.
like it doesn't seem like it's improvised. Like when you watch you, like you're so dang awesome at it.
There's that ego stroke.
But like you truly are. So like you've really found something that you're gonna keep going with this for a while, right? Like you don't see yourself.
I'm almost 40, but I sure as fuck ain't stopping.
You're not stopping.
I'm not stopping. No. I've got plans for a number where I'm a little old lady reminiscing about her days as a stripper with the classic bloomers and a bottle of wine shoved up there. Get me a walker with the tennis balls on the. Oh yeah. Fuck. I'm gonna death drop onto some
death drop.
The thing the drag queens do all the time that I cannot do because I'm old and my hip would be like, fuck you, bitch. But I'm going to death drop onto like mats that are on a roller and have like somebody roll me off the stage when I'm done.
I mean, that would be pretty iconic.
That's the plan that I've had since I started doing burlesque. Is like, I need to do this to the Beatles when I'm 64.
What Beatles song?
When I'm 64.
When you said that, I was like, is 64 the age you're doing that? Oh, that's funny.
Oh, I hope not. I want to do that way sooner because I got to practice my makeup on how to get more lines on my face.
Oh my God.
Get myself a little old lady wig.
Do you have a favorite performance that you do? Like one that you've done a couple times? That's
100%.
Like, yeah?
100% I do.
Which one is it? Which one?
My cake sit.
I was literally thinking of the cake sit.
My cake sit.
Any act that involves a tarp, I think is a damn good act.
Mm-hmm.
I was the tarp girl at Tongue in Cheek. I had to make sure that tarp got out there for you.
I performed that at Men's and Molly's. I cannot remember for the life of me what that show was. I think it was one of mine. It's probably one of mine. Good Lord. And I performed that at Tongue in Cheek. And I actually performed it in Ottawa during their Pride. And I was in another show online just recently. And in the chat of that show was the person that had to clean up after that act. They're like, oh my God, I remember you. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I think the messiest
They had to clean up the icing off of the stage.
I would love to see you do it with an even bigger cake.
Oh my God, I want to do it with a 3-tier wedding cake, but I can't afford that shit.
Well, how do we get a sponsor? Like, what you should do is you should find a sponsor who would be willing to
I'm so terrible with trying to approach people to be sponsors. Like, even for like prizes for my shows. I'm just
really?
Like,
that's fair though.
You know what?
It's
I get more nervous approaching people. Be like, hey, this is my idea for a show, and I think you'd be really great with sponsoring it, and we'd like get flyers, and you'd be on the flyers, and we'd make sure people come to your shop, and blah, blah, blah. I am more nervous about doing that than I am shaking my booty and flapping my flabbies at people. I am more nervous about talking.
That's fair though.
To
That's
those people
that
than,
it is.
than anything.
It is nerve-wracking, but you do a great job of promoting your shows. Like you're very. Like, you've texted me to remind me. And I'm like, I appreciate this because legit, there's so much out there that, like, that personal message to be like, hey, just a reminder about the show, like, is so, like,
I feel
good.
like I'm a personal alarm clock now.
No, but I love that. But, like, but more people need to do that because so many people suck at promotion. And, like, it's, you know what it shows? It shows that you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That might be harsh, but, like,
see, for me, I want to make sure people get paid.
yeah,
I don't care if I
that's
get
a good
paid.
catalyst. That's a good catalyst.
But I want to make sure other people get paid. Like, I have a full-time job. I have a partner who makes damn good money. I don't need the money. I want to make sure people other than me get paid.
right on the show, your performers, right?
Yeah. In fact, during COVID, I've done, I want to say 4 online shows. I have taken pay for one of them. Because I opted not to, because other people are hurting a lot more than I am. I have not been affected by COVID financially, whereas 99% of the people that I've been in contact with that are performers have been affected in some way, shape, or form. And I'm like, bitch, I need you to get paid. So, and the one show that I took pay for was because 3 people had to drop out last minute because they were ill. And the only reason I took pay was because I had to do 4 numbers. And I was like, holy fuck, I was too tired to do anything but breathe.
I heard about this. So this was, what show was, this was around?
This was in between the bar closures. This was...
in the summer, right?
I want to say it was in the summer.
September?
I don't know. It was shortly after men's reopened.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was shortly after men's reopened. And that was the only show that I actually took pay from.
And so what happened with this show? Like, what was going through your mind when you had people dropping out?
I hope they're okay.
You just rolled with it.
Yep. I've got enough stuff in my arsenal. And like I said, all of my performances are improv of some kind. So run with it. Wow. Gonna be tired as fuck when you're done, but
Made it happen.
yep.
Wow.
Shit went through. So we did it.
And so now you've been doing Zoom shows
Mhm.
online on Twitch and stuff like that.
Between Twitch and Zoom, and I still haven't figured out Twitch, and I'm see, this is where that technologically savvy thing is bullshit, because I'm not. And I have tried. I have downloaded all the things that I supposedly need. I have a really decent webcam, and I'm just like looking at the software and getting a headache. Can't do it. I need so much coaching. It's disgusting.
It's a big learning curve for sure. It is a people don't realize, like, when they watch virtual shows, all the things that go into it in the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been part of one show that was on Twitch that was by Jay Crimson out in Ontario, and Justin Too Deep and I collaborated to do that one show on his Twitch, and he ran the tech.
Yeah.
He did all the tech. I paid for the Zoom premium stuff and took my $20 for the Zoom premium and paid everybody else, and
Right.
and he did all the tech stuff. And I was there for it. I was like, yep, you're good, do the thing. But I'll do Zoom shows. Like, Zoom's not too bad.
And so what's the experience? How is it different than like an in-person show?
It's just like comedy. How do you gauge an audience? Like, I'm looking at a camera right now, but there's people that are going to be watching this.
Yeah.
But we don't know how they're reacting to any of the things. We aren't getting any of that feedback.
But look, like, if I just literally hit go live, we would have a live audience.
But we still wouldn't get that feedback. We would see that there were people there. We would
get comments
We
every
would
now and
see
then.
that people were commenting, but you're not hearing, like with drag and burlesque, the hoots and the hollers that give you more energy to give it more energy.
Yeah.
Like, we feed off of that. Like,
Yeah.
So it's
Isn't
really
that wild?
difficult when you're like, here's the camera. I have to look at the camera. Don't look at yourself, because then you're not looking at the camera. You have to look at the camera and engage with the camera, who is potentially a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Potentially.
And you have to act like it's a person.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a couple Zoom comedy shows, and I find it yeah, it's very, very weird. It's
harder.
It's kind of like people are reading jokes, not necessarily doing jokes.
It's because it's harder for your comedic timing.
Yeah.
Your comedic timing is, I see it when I see comedy shows. It's based off of what the audience reaction is. Dictates your comedic timing. If you have no physical audience to play off of,
how the fuck are you gonna do that? Yeah,
exactly. Like,
which is why, like, I have so much respect and admiration for people who still do these types of shows, because it shows how resilient and adaptive performers are and creative people are. Like the fact that like drag performers and burlesque performers are doing fucking shows online, and like there's Zoom comedy shows, and it's literally like, because these people can't not do it.
Yeah,
so they'll find a way to do it.
It's in our blood. You know? we have to have an outlet of some kind.
Yeah.
Or everybody's fucked, and not in a good way.
Yeah. I got offered to do a Zoom comedy show, and I was just like, I'm not quite even used to the real ones yet, so I'm gonna have to turn it down. I was like, I'm still so new, but maybe I'll I was thinking about hosting one maybe here. But have it be a bit different, where like the comedians aren't on Zoom, but like it's just broadcast out to people to watch. Okay. And so have people like have this set up like a little comedy club with a mic, and like have the comedians come here and do their stand up, but like it's a virtual crowd kind of thing.
Are you gonna get like cardboard cutouts and shit? Because that would be killer.
Right? That would be so cute.
Oh my god, I have an audience.
Like, have you seen the fucking like what talk shows are doing now with audiences? Like, there's like screens of people.
I Netflix. I just watch Netflix, so I don't really watch talk shows. So
Well,
tell me.
I was jarred by it, like Kelly Clarkson, because she's really killing it with her talk show. She does such a good job of it. Her show, you look out into the crowd and it's just screens with people on screens. It's terrifying.
It sounds very 1984-ish.
Right?
Wow.
Like in the seats are these like rectangle screens, and like the people are like, I guess, just watching from like their homes or their offices or whatever. So I imagine if you want,
it's like a Zoom call, but take each one of the squares and make it its own screen and place it in where people would. Oh,
isn't that madness? Yeah, it's insane. And so I guess if you wanted to be on a talk show, like in the crowd, you could still do that, but you would have to like webcam in from your home, which is wild, because it makes me so happy that I went to New York in 2008, and I actually got to be, I did Regis and Kelly, and I did Conan, and I was in the crowd for both those. I got to experience that.
That's so cool.
Right? It was so wild, and I'm glad that I had that, because like, who knows when we'll have that again.
Yeah. That's
concerts. Remember concerts?
Oh my god, I went to AC/DC once. That was so cool.
Remember like the feeling you got when you're smushed in a crowd so tightly and you're all singing the same song? Remember that?
No, I'm old.
It's just sad to me. Like, it's just
okay, the last time I did that kind of crowd was, oh my god, I went to see the Black Eyed Peas in Lethbridge, Alberta with my best friend. Oh my god, I think I was 19.
Oh wow, very young.
You see, I'm so old. That's okay. It's okay. But yeah, we went and saw the Black Eyed Peas, and we were actually up in the nosebleeds, and she and I were like dancing our butts off, and there was this little old biddy. She was such a bitch. She was in beside us, or just one row up, and she's like, sit down. I'm like, it's a fucking concert with dance music.
Go fuck her. Yeah, seriously.
Oh, sorry.
You can say cunt.
Might want to put a trigger warning that I know there's people that don't like that word.
Oh, really? Are there?
Well, some people don't.
I only just got comfortable with it, saying it. I used to be highly uncomfortable.
I used to be, and kind of still am. And I'm okay with the word, but if you call me one,
yeah, it's pretty triggering.
You better be mad, and I better be laughing.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're gonna call me that, you better be the one that's mad, and I better be laughing in your face about it.
I mean, I'll say it jokingly, but to people, but
when
that's
serious,
one
thing. Like tone means everything.
Tone means everything. Context means everything. When I've actually said it and meant it in a serious way, it's only been reserved for like a special type of evil person.
So me.
Who? This is now when I tell you that I've been calling you that behind your back. But like it was like deserved. Like yeah. But I try not to throw that around too much.
No, that's valid.
But it's also okay if you like shit, piss, cock. Like we can say all of it on here.
Okay, you just said the last one because you're horny, but anyway.
I'm getting there, Tish. I'm trying to. I never had this issue before. I've always been a big horn dog. Always. And it feels like it's gone. Have you ever had...
COVID sapped the life out of everything, including sex.
Do you ever have issues with sex drive?
Yep.
Okay. What got you out of it? Like what brought the juju back? Is that the right word? Juju?
We moved back in together.
Oh. So just more opportunities to bang.
Pretty much, yep.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what to do. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, maybe I'm past my prime. Like maybe
nope, that's a lie. Bold-faced lie, don't you dare.
I'm just like
keep laughing uncomfortably, but you know you're not past your prime.
I know. It feels like I am though. I feel like sometimes I'm glowing up and other times I'm glowing down, and I never know which is which. And I think it has to do with the fact that I don't take care of myself.
So fix that.
Yeah.
Do I need to be an alarm clock? Be like, bitch,
I would
do something for yourself.
I honestly would love that. I was telling Kirsten about accountability buddies. The idea of having a friend that holds you accountable for something, like, and it's like usually you pick one thing, and that friend like will call you out,
or
like
randomly text you, be like, "Bitch, clean your brushes" or whatever.
Clean your brushes. Drink water.
I actually do that for somebody.
Do you really?
I actually do that for somebody. A friend of mine, Jay Crimson in Ontario.
Oh my god!
Every time I see him on Twitch and he's doing a look, he's like, "I still haven't cleaned my brushes." I'm like, "Bitch, do you need me to send you a text?" And he's like, yeah.
Once a week.
So I did. So I actually, we just started doing this this week. So it was like yesterday. It was like,
that's so funny.
Hey, clean your brushes.
How often do you clean them?
I try to clean them at least once a week.
Yeah, that's a good call.
If I'm doing more than one look, depending on like if I'm doing all like pink and black looks for that week, I don't care. But if you're switching up your colors, clean your brushes.
Or you could get one of those color swatch thingies. Have you seen those? Like they're little tins. Yeah. That like dry cleans your brush.
Yeah, I need to get one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now, I have like one of the little.
I think I have.
I have a little mat that I got from like Dollarama, and I just use makeup remover, and I like rub the brush on this pad, and then I throw the pad in the.
You must have a shit ton of brushes. I would love to see your glam station.
I don't have a lot of brushes,
no?
And my glam station is portable. Is it? I like take things everywhere.
Where do you get ready?
Sometimes I get ready on my kitchen table. Sometimes, for today's look,
which is amazing.
It was in my bathroom with poor lighting.
It's gorgeous. That
Thank
fucking
you.
Glitter.
This glitter is from Serpentine Studios, and it's biodegradable.
Like every time I see you, I ask you where it is, and I know where it's from, and I still haven't fucking got any. Are they open right now?
No.
Oh,
Serpentine Studios had to take up shop.
Sucks.
You know what? This is the third time they've had to move, and it's all because of renovictions, I guess they're called.
They're like renovating
because
the building?
each building that they've been in they've had to leave because the building wants to renovate. So they are currently without a home, but they're doing all their classes and stuff online.
It's not COVID related?
Partially COVID related.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
everything
they can't really open the studio anyway. But they're doing all their classes online now, which is kind of freaking cool.
That's really, really neat.
So, yeah.
So, do you think... Have you taken burlesque classes?
I did. I took the burlesque basics class and... the class to plan a number, plan an act. And that's where my cake sit number came from. Was I was planning a number, and Kaylicious had given us like exercises to figure out what we want to do, what kind of concept, how to figure out what kind of concept you want to go with. Like, did you want to go funny? Blah 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 blah. So Kaylicious taught both of those classes, and I wanted to take more. I just, at the time, I did not have the money, and I did not have the time, because again, it was working full time, got a 15-year-old kid, got a partner who was, got pets. Like, you got life.
Holy moly. I'm tired.
So
just
I know,
hearing that.
and I'm like, and now with COVID, now I'm like a D&D pro, and like I'm total nerding out, and still doing my doing more drag and burlesque than I did normally, because normally I would be like, okay, get ready 2 hours before the show, and at the end of the show, that's it, you're done.
Right.
But now it's just a random Wednesday, and you're putting on a look that takes 3 hours, and then you're doing a whole bunch of TikToks or filming a number or doing this, and then you're trying to edit, and then it takes up so much more time than just going to the bar for 4 hours and doing your show and being done.
Right. And once you're done, you're done.
I am more busy now than I ever was before COVID.
Me too. I feel you on that. And so how do you manage it all? Like, straight up. Like, how, like, your day to day. What's a typical day? What's a typical day in Tush world?
There is no typical day, because I don't know what's going to happen each day. Like, I've tried to be like, okay, this day I'm going to do a look, and I'm going to pick out a bunch of my favorite TikTok sounds. I'm going to make a bunch of TikToks, or I'm going to film this number that I have to do because it has to be in by the end of the week. And
right.
or whatever. So I try to plan ahead. But because of work, I was like on call for the 5 days that I was off. So then I get a call to go into work. Or what have you. So it's like, it's really hard to plan it. But if I had a typical day, this is probably what it would look like. Go to bed about 10 o'clock. Dog wakes you up at midnight. Dog wakes you up at 2. Dog wakes you up at 4, and then you can't go back to sleep till 6.
Oh, no.
You get your lazy ass out of bed by 7:30, only to make sure that the kid has gone to school. Okay, good.
Has that not worked out sometimes?
There are times where they have missed the bus.
Oh no.
So
my God.
So I put on my fuzzy slippers with the hard soles and a big sweater and say, get in the car. Drive the kid to school. Do the grocery shopping if necessary. Don't give a shit if you have the right clothing on, because nobody cares anymore. Just make sure you have a mask in your purse.
That's right.
By the time you get home, it's 10:30 and the dog needs to pee again. By now, you should have been in makeup for half an hour already.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
And
so that's just the morning.
And these, like, drag and, like, burlesque looks take hours. The detail involved.
They can, yeah.
I can pull a face together in a solid half hour if I really wanted to. If I was really rushed. Like a whole full face. But yeah, if you're doing cut creases, if you're doing glitter, if you're doing all of that.
The only thing I didn't don tonight is lashes, because I was like, nope.
You know what? I hate wearing them. They're so uncomfortable.
You're wearing new ones. How'd they work out?
Actually, these aren't the new ones. These are just my standard Demi Wispies from Ardell, because I looked at the ones. So what she's talking about is I found water activated falsies from Ardell. They're new. I didn't get them because the band looked really thick, and I hate a thick band. I need an invisible band for my eyes. Otherwise, they'll just drive me mad and be too heavy.
Fair.
Like when I see like you know Devastation and Rouge Fatale.
Oh my God,
right?
yes, of course.
So like I feel I love them so much. I need to hit them up again and come back on the podcast, because they did.
Apparently, they're going to do a shout out for me on Sunday.
Are they on Station Drag?
Yes, but that's only because I made them banana bread. I'm a suck up.
They are.
If you give me a shout out, I will bake you all the things.
I did. They came on a live stream marathon of mine like 2 years ago, and it was just a wild time. Like Deva felt me up, put glitter on my tits. Like it was a spiritual experience.
I believe it.
And then Deba came on alone, and that was also a spiritual experience because that was just like,
Is it because Deva's a corpse?
Well, we went like
She's not.
so many
She's a doll.
places. We were talking about aliens. We were talking about like astral projection, and like it was wild. And I'd like to get Rouge on alone too. I think that's
Rouge is so fun.
my next
I love Rouge.
My next guest that I want to reach out to for sure. Because I love them both so much. And on the stream, we had them in here with 2 comics. And the back and forth between the comics. And so for my next Intoxicated show, I really want to combine drag and comedians somehow. And I don't know if that's
not a far-fetched thing at all.
I don't know if that's a battle or if it's just having them on a panel together.
I feel like
something.
that would be kind of like a ping pong
Yes,
thing.
It would be
like,
amazing.
Like, you'd get all sorts of different laughs.
Yeah.
And they'd all be amazing.
Because truly, drag queens and kings are comedians. They are.
Yeah.
They're a different type of comedian. It's not stand-up comedy per se, but it's like it was one of my favorite memories, honestly. Like them being
I don't
here.
doubt it. They're so funny.
And I watched the video back last night and I was just like, what was my life? I did that. I had this 15-hour marathon where I sat here from noon until 3 a.m. right here. God. And people just came in and I had shifts. So like if you were a guest on the marathon, like you would come in and talk to me and then leave. And then another guest would come in. And I've done 2 of those and I did a 12-hour one too.
That's so cool though.
It's crazy is what it is. But it is really cool. But it makes you go back and go, holy fuck, I did so much. Like you don't think about it in the moment. It's very surreal. In the moment, I was actually on one of Station Drag's videos. And
that's cool.
I was so nervous. I was just like, I don't think I'm funny or quick enough for this. Because they're both so quick.
That's because in drag, reading is mandatory.
Yeah.
That is what they do.
It is. Oh my God. I love them.
I do too.
Yeah. They're so great. What was I gonna ask you? Yeah, so during the actual lockdown, how were you emotionally during it all? Like,
I was a fucking mess.
Were ya?
I was a mess.
Me too. Ding dang. Team
Absolutely.
mess. Team mess.
Yep. Survived it barely.
Was it the lack of interaction with people that was the main thing, or
kind of? I didn't know what to do with myself. Like at all, like because at the beginning, like none of like the digital stuff was still just baby, and I had no idea what was going on. Like I downloaded TikTok because I was fucking bored.
A lot of people did, yeah,
because I'm old, and that's what you do when you're old and you're bored, and you do stupid shit, and that's what happened. But I had no idea what the fuck to do with myself.
I don't remember parts of it. There's parts of it.
Oh yeah, there's parts of it that memories are a thing.
I blank. I've lost time. It feels like there was a couple months there that I'm like, I know I did stuff. I was like zooming with people, and but I did lose my job. So like I was truly, my days were spent. You wake up, you make sure you eat something. But really, that's about it.
Yeah,
nothing else that you're accountable
that's about
for.
Right.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Like. With my kid being like they were 14 at the time, and they were March break had just started, and 6 months later they were still on it, and like they spent all their time in their room. But at 14, what 14-year-old didn't? Like that's true. Really, if they weren't in their room,
in my room,
like that age. for me at that age, it was like. I had a really good relationship with my parents, so we would play board games and stuff, and like at first we did, like they were into Magic the Gathering, so we'd like have little battles and do the things and stuff, but otherwise like they were in their room and my husband and I were watching Netflix and just like doing sweet fuck all, and I was starting to go stir crazy by the time went back to work kind of thing. It was
yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason this bitch works.
Yeah.
she turns into a monster when she's not doing something.
That's me too. What do you mean by a monster though? Because I
like evil, like you couldn't even look at me without me wanting to throat punch you. Kind of.
You get angry.
Oh, I was so angry. Like, and I get hangry too. Like, this is worse. This is worse than my hangry.
You're pandry. Pangry.
Yeah.
Pandemic anger.
Just an angry bitch.
Yeah.
Just an angry bitch.
That's interesting. Where does the anger come from? Do you think from like
To be honest, I have no clue. I've never looked into that. I've never tried to look into it, so that's on me. But like, yeah,
I mean, because you said you had, you said good relationship with your parents, I instantly went, oh, did you have a bad childhood where you always had to be on the ball? But
no, I had a great childhood. My parents are awesome. Like, when I came out as pansexual and polyamorous, they were like, oh, okay. Like, my mom didn't take it really well at first, like, but it took her a little bit. But she's like, as long as nobody's getting hurt, like, you do you be happy. Just as long as nobody's getting hurt, like, that's cool. But like,
don't punch anyone, Tish.
Exactly. Just
see, because that's interesting. Because I'm the same as you. I do so much better mentally when I'm busy, and I'd much rather be busy and stressed and tired than bored. But I go depressed, not angry. I get very lethargic.
Yeah, if I'm bored, I get really, really angry, and it just takes nothing to piss me off.
Really?
Like, yeah. There's 3 questions that my partner asks me when I'm angry. The first one is, have you eaten anything?
Yeah.
If the answer is no, he feeds me. If that's not it, he changes the music station. Because if we're listening to country, that might be the reason. If that's not it, he asks, what did or didn't I do? And if it's a didn't do, it's because I'm bored.
Right. Oh, interesting.
And it's nothing that he could have done. I'm just an angry, hateful bitch at life.
That's interesting. I wonder where that anger comes from. Should look into that.
Yeah, I should probably get a shrink.
I mean, if it affects your life in a negative way.
It hasn't for some time now, because since drag found me, I guess, I'm able to keep myself busier. I have other outlets. So if I start to get bored, I'd be like, oh, maybe I should paint.
Yeah.
My face or canvas. Or maybe I should, I don't know, just anything. It's given me more avenues of outlets so that I don't get to that point. Because I live with people. And if you live with people, you don't want to hate on them.
No, that's
because
very,
that makes
very true.
Life miserable for everyone, and that's just not good.
And there's so many things you could do with drag. Like, you could do makeup, you could make a costume.
Yep.
You could record videos, you could like find a new song.
You could do your own sound mix, like,
yeah,
which I tried to do. I am not very good at that yet. But that's going to be interesting.
What do you mean by a new sound mix? Like one that you make yourself?
Yeah, just
like a remix kind of thing? Or?
Between a remix and a mashup.
Ooh,
so
I love a mashup.
You've seen my half and half look.
Yeah.
My heat miser, snow miser thing. Well, I want to do one mashup that starts off as the heat miser and snow miser. So obviously this is going to be for like next year. So I have lots of time to figure this shit out. So heat miser and snow miser, and then go with back and forth little snidbits of songs that are hot versus cold, and doing 3 complete looks. So the half and half for the beginning and the end, and then a full heat or red look and a full ice or blue look for each of these different bits of songs. So I've started to attempt that.
That's wild.
I'm not good at this thing. I'm not a DJ, and I cannot afford to pay a DJ to do it for me.
I know someone who's teaching herself to DJ who might be able to help you.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's pretty dang awesome. She actually DJ'd my live debates show.
Oh, nice.
Which is great. But yeah, no, it's the teaching yourself things is such a great skill to have right now, because we don't know what's going to happen and when another lockdown might come. We might be forced to just be alone again. And
that's a definite possibility.
It's a blessing to be able to teach yourself something that you like, and that will help you. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's wild. But I mean, we're doing really good in Nova Scotia. We're very lucky compared to other parts of the world, like where we're at.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, like
absolutely.
And what about like, do you have any plans to do more live, like in-person live shows, or are you kind of holding off on that for a bit?
I'd love to. I had a few that were in the works that obviously could not happen for everyone's safety. It just was not possible. But I had started planning just before the first lockdown, a body show.
Okay, I think you've talked about this.
I think I talked about it.
Refresh my memory.
I talked about it a little bit during the Valentine show when we were doing the body positivity thing. Me and two other artists who also had body parts in our burlesque names wanted to do a body positive show where we had all different bodies. So trans bodies, fat bodies, skinny bodies, Misshapen's body.
I love Misshapen.
I love Misshapen so much. I miss her.
Amanda. Love you.
But like, we wanted to have all different body types, representation from all walks of life. And that was one thing we had wanted to do, and we had started the planning. We were looking for venues. I had found a sponsor with El Mio. Because they have mastectomy
nice
plates and things, and do custom stuff, and so they were going to sponsor us, which would have been so cool. And so that was like a big project that we wanted to do. We were like planning, like, you have to have in your song, you had to have something to do with a body part of some kind. So I wanted to do like Pancreas by Weird Al. Or something
that's great.
I would have done something totally weird and off the wall that way anyway. But like, we wanted to do that sort of thing to bring more of the body positive.
Yeah, that's amazing.
To it. I was planning more Diz drags. Like, there were so many things that we wanted to do, and so I'm going to do another Diz drag. I just don't know when, because COVID.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing too is I think people generally understand. Like, I mean, I think if you plan a show and like you commit the time, I think we're at a point now where this has happened so much, where if things change, and people roll with it. You can. And the other thing too is like trying to make a show that you could easily convert to an online show could be
exactly.
So if something happens, like, that's kind of what I'm thinking for the Intoxicated show. I'm trying to think of a really simple show that could easily be done here in my living room, like here in the studio, if need be.
Can I throw something out there at you?
Please throw it at me.
You do remember your New Year's, yes? Please make that a thing. Just get into a glittery, sparkly dress, throw some bubbles in the water, and do it from the bathtub because, oh my God, yes.
Can I talk about that whole night? That was so unplanned.
And it was fucking delicious. I was so glad that I stumbled onto Instagram at that point. I was like, what is this glorious mess?
You know what? I've been thinking about it, and it meant more than what it probably appeared. I felt like it was just ditching everything, because that sequin dress, I would have purchased it right around like a year ago, like, because it was for the Intoxicated live show that happened February 28th last year, like in 2020. And I bought 3 dresses, and I ended up only wearing one, and I had full intentions of returning the other ones. And then, then one of my best friends just died. And then we went into like a global pandemic, and I lost my job. So and this all happened within 2 weeks. And
so life basically bitch slapped you and said, what the fuck?
And Sarah forgot to, put those, return them to Fashion Nova. And so now I've had these 2 ball gowns, and I tried to sell them online. And it's just like, who's buying sequin gowns. No one's going to events.
Well, the thing is, there's there's that one TikTok sound now that's. I had all these cute outfits I wanted to wear.
I thought about doing that. Thought about doing that too, but I don't know.
I want to do that, but it takes so much time to get into all the different outfits that I have because they're complicated. But they're glorious.
I was kind of like, I do a lot to impress people, and I put a lot of energy into being like someone people like and doing a lot, and I'm ridding myself of that now.
I'm so proud of you.
And like, I'm really going to just do the things that I enjoy, and I'm going to be trying to put myself first a bit more in 2020. Thank you so much. And so doing that and like getting in the tub with that ball gown was kind of metaphorical in a weird way, to just be like, fuck everything.
I feel like that could be an ongoing theme though.
It could be. Like, get in the, like, take your old self, like a piece of clothing that maybe represented like your old self, and get in a tub and wash it away.
I just throw glitter on it.
It sounds fucking cheesy, but honestly, like, but I'm also a Pisces, so I kind of thrive in water. So I felt like I was in my element in the tub.
Yeah, I just throw glitter on it and leave it.
I'd love to do more live streams from the tub and maybe have people join me from their tubs. And I know a girl in Halifax.
Let me know when you're going to do that. I will fucking do it. I will be all over that. I will like set
love it.
I'll set my phone up on a chair and just be like, yeah.
Tub talks or something. I think that's actually, hang on. I think someone has that. There is a girl in Halifax that had a talk show.
Tubtoxicated, make it a gin tub.
Yeah, it's this. Yeah, it's literally
pull a Miss Hannigan and pour some gin in that tub first.
We're legit stealing it because it's already taken. Tub talks with Fiona.
Boo.
When did she last post? May. So it is a thing, and we won't do tub talks.
That was back in May. Fuck her.
We won't do tub talks, but I mean, also, I'm sure way more than one person has done something like that.
Call it like bubble busters or something, and make it bubble baths all the time or something. I don't know.
Tubtoxicated just has the perfect sound to it.
Well, you could still do that.
It would be just one word, though. Yeah.
That works.
That could work.
I don't understand the problem then.
Yeah, I'm just very codependent and paranoid. I'm just so codependent that I'm like, what if she thinks I'm copying her? Like, you know.
Well, you're already doing Intoxicated. It just sort of evolves.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Maybe. Okay.
It just moved from here to the bathroom. It's fine.
More bathtub Instagram lives. That'd be so fun.
I'm into it.
But like, yeah, have like a guest every time I do it, and drinking in the tub, bubbles.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes wear a bathing suit or something. I don't know if I'd want to wear a dress every time. I only have so many dresses I can ruin.
That's fair. I'm like, wait, I have dresses that have to be hand washed. That would count.
That counts.
That would count as being hand washed.
Might give you a yeast infection, but if you put laundry detergent in the tub.
Oh, I wouldn't put laundry detergent in there. No. Just I would probably just leave it as like plain water at that point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was a wild New Year's Eve thing. Yeah. I felt like otherwise I would spiral if I didn't do something.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time talking about I'm spiraling, and I'm like, bitch, no, you're not. That is not a rinse cycle. What are you talking about?
I love it. And so you
are in your glory, bitch.
I had a great time. I didn't cry once on New Year's Eve, and I take that as a huge win because that's just one of those holidays that I always cry at. I don't know what it is with the end of the year. It's just like I feel like
are you mourning it? Like wishing you had done something, or
I don't know if it's even wishing that I've done something because I'm actually in a really good place currently. But I think it's more like my pain stockpiled up a little bit because I feel like when things opened up and I was able to do stand up. And I was still podcasting and I was doing stand-up. That was like my favorite time because I was like keeping busy and I was kind of distracting myself from some stuff I was going through. And then Christmas break happened and I had a week off again. And it almost like put me back into like pandemic mode.
Yeah.
And I think things piled up a bit. And I was like, oh, I didn't really deal with my grief. Oh, I'm actually really brokenhearted over somebody. Oh, like I'm tired, and I just realized how doing so much has taken a toll on me. And so it was just kind of a mixture of all those things.
Yeah.
But 2020 is a new year. 2021. Fuck.
Don't speak of the cursed year. It's like Voldemort. It's the year we do not speak of.
So how was your 2020 overall? Like, I mean...
You know what? I actually had set out in 2020. I don't make resolutions. I make goals.
Ooh, yes.
So my goal for 2020 was to grow my drag and burlesque. And I didn't expect it to be, growing online.
Right. It grew in a different way than you thought.
It grew in a different way than I wanted, than I originally anticipated. Like I wanted to work on my costuming. I definitely worked on my costuming. I made some fucking killer costumes.
Fuck yeah.
I learned basic video editing. I'm still not very good at it, but I learned it and I'm doing the thing.
Pick away at it though. Pick away.
Exactly.
Don't put too much pressure on. Just pick away at it.
Absolutely. And like I don't have anything fancy, but you know what? I'm figuring shit out, and I've done more performances. I have 2 COVID crowns. I have COVID. I should have brought my fucking
What's
crowns.
a COVID crown? I'm clapping and I don't know.
Yay, yay me. I'm a pageant queen.
like contests or
like
ooh.
The Pride does a gender fuck pageant. So it's a one winner pageant, and you had to do a look. Or I guess you had to do 2 looks and a performance, and I was the only one that actually completed all the tasks. So I won by default, but I was told not to consider it default because I worked my ass off to get that crown.
And other people could have and they didn't. That's on them.
Yeah, and so that was amazing. And then I did the Sleigh Bells Ball with the House of Rivers.
It's amazing.
Just this past winter here, and yeah, I won that. We didn't even know who the judges were, and I was like, "Yes, bitch!" I was so excited, and I had.
Did you get a physical crown?
I did. I got like a tiara style crown for that one. It's lovely.
Did you ever put it on and just vacuum?
I did a TikTok just so I could wear it.
That's right. Okay, let's get into TikTok. So we're both big fans of TikTok. Tish, you're way more active on there than I am. Like, you make so much good content on there.
I find sounds, I favorite all of them, and then I kind of play roulette with that.
Okay, and I meant to ask Alicia McCarville this because she's huge on TikTok too. Like, I mean, 1.5 million followers, no big deal or anything.
Oh, shut up! I don't even have 2,000 followers yet, and I'm like, bitch.
But you know what? But you know what though? Quality over quantity. If that's organic followers,
that's actually how I looked at it, because I've done the follow trains and the whatever. Like it's like a follow party. So
what are these follow parties? Can you explain this?
So they'll be like, if you follow me, like this post, make a comment, and then follow everyone that likes your comment, and they follow you back. So that's how you gain followers. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So I did one, and then I got a flood of kids.
Oh no.
So I was like, okay. So I put on a really cute fawn look. So I had like the cute little nose and the white freckles and please don't hit on me if you're a kid. It's creepy and it makes me feel like shit. 18 and up is fine. Y'all can sip till the end of time, but please don't hit on me if you're a kid.
Damn.
And now, if there's a kid that follows me, I say, blah, bye-bye.
I've gotten a couple of those too.
I probably still have a few children that follow me. If they're 16, 17, whatever. I don't do a lot of adult only content. But if they message me, it's an instant block. I'm like, no, babe. No, I can't. No. There are people out there that will prey on those children.
Absolutely.
And I will not be one of those people.
Yeah,
I will not be like, oh, I just want followers. I don't.
Yeah.
I want people that they find my content resonates with them,
Mm-hmm.
I will follow people if their content resonates with me. Otherwise, I'd be like, yeah, that was a good video, but
It's like what I wonder about, because like when Kirsten and I's TikTok went viral, like I got so many followers.
Oh my god!
And I chalked
so
it up,
funny.
but I chalked it up to like people seeing the video, laughing at it, and just literally just
I
going
think
follow.
people wanted to see that just as a sound. I bet they were like, they clicked on the sound and be like, oh, it's just background music. Oh, I wanted to use that actual sound. I'm like,
do I get notifications if people use my sound?
I don't know because I don't have any sounds that people have used. I use other people's shit. Okay, I'm a drag performer. I just lip sync.
I was often wondering that I actually used music over my.
Yeah, yours is like
I use music, so okay, yeah, so people wouldn't have been able to use it.
exactly. So
Interesting.
the only way people will be able to use your sound is if they duetted it.
Yeah, I got a couple duets, and they were like,
They were like, okay.
some of them are awkward.
Yeah. I've tried to find sounds that are actually duettable
Yes, fair.
so that people can duet my stuff. Like people can, it just might be awkward because it's just me talking, right? But
Yeah,
yeah,
I need to do more duets. They seem fun.
yeah, they are really fun actually. I actually did a friends only duet challenge. So I set my
Saw that.
video to friends only. So only if you're my friend can you see this particular video. But if you comment on it, I'll do a duet with one of your videos. So if you're a follower, but this is also a way that I hash out where the kids are. Because if the kids follow me and the kids comment and be like, ha 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 ha, block.
Yeah.
Because I am not duetting a child.
Yeah, no, we don't want that.
No. So I did that, and now I still I have like a bunch that I have to do. So I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna pull out my ring light. And I'm gonna do a bunch of these duets. I've got to look on.
Yeah, you gotta make use of the makeup.
I've got to make use of the look. It's a thing.
You definitely do. You gotta be efficient with your TikTok
Yeah.
creation.
Yeah. When I do my TikToks, I like usually I'll plan out what sounds I want to use.
That's a good call.
So I did one look. It's a.
Actually,
I'm a nerd.
hold that thought. I gotta pee.
Okay.
I gotta pee.
All right, you pee.
Rolling.
You pee. I'm gonna.
some things to show me. What you got?
All right. So, I play D&D because I'm a nerd.
Such a nerd.
So I did this look,
A glamorous nerd.
and it's from Critical Role. One of the characters, her name is Yasha, and she's a barbarian, and she has like a lot of the depictions of her are like blue, half face is blue, but I like purple, bitch. So I did like,
Ooh.
and this is actually one of the sounds from it. But I loved this look, like. So there was that one, but
So
that one
good.
could be duetted, but it's like just a little snippet in the middle.
Right.
But here, I'll show you the crown. Here's my crown.
Oh my gosh.
So it's from Anastasia. The crown is so glorious.
Honestly, and you're so good at lip syncing. Thank you for being good at lip syncing.
I credit
'Cause
drag for that so much.
But so many people suck at it on TikTok.
But you know what? There's a trick to that.
Is there?
Listen up, people.
Ooh.
Go at slow speed. So if you set that
You set the sound at a low speed?
you set that sound at a low speed, it looks so much better with the lip sync, even if you fuck up.
So, but
Even if you fuck up.
do you set
Because-
the sound at a low speed and then speed it up in post?
You know what? Let me show you.
Oh, I love this. Can you
Let me just
can you
show you.
screen record this process so we can?
I don't know if I'm not technologically savvy, so I don't know.
There we go.
Love it.
So
That's so cool.
here we go. We're doing a TikTok tutorial. This portion of the podcast, if you're an audio listener, you should hop on over to YouTube and watch this. So I'll give you TikTok.
All right, here we go. So I sent you some
Oh, there's
messages.
Geneva. Hey, Geneva, shout out.
Oh, yeah.
I love you.
We're just going to watch this for a second.
Spooky.
All right. So I sent you some messages. Oh my God, you've got lots of messages, girl.
Yes. Open them.
No, I'm just going to open mine because I sent you some sounds.
Yes, you did.
That I wanted to be like, okay. Because we were thinking about doing a little takeover, weren't we? So let's do this. We're going to use this sound.
It's going to happen.
And it's a shoot up to 9 seconds. So to do the speed, you just click on speed up here. And you can go, let's just go 2 times just for fun.
Is that 2 times? That's 2 times slow.
It's 2 times slow.
Oh.
So
Oh my God. This is so cool.
Now we're just gonna listen to the sound first because I have to remember which one we're using. So this is the sound. Hello, hello. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. So now you know what we're doing.
Yes.
So you discard that, and we're gonna go to 2 times speed.
Okay.
We're gonna go out, so that's outside of the, and it goes really slow.
No way.
Hello, hello. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And then we're gonna let it play.
Okay.
So it plays at regular speed.
Hello, hello. I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Shut up! That really does help.
So I'm gonna save that to your drafts, and you can
Please-
post that whenever the fuck you want.
Please save it. That's so
It's in
great.
your drafts now.
So a song that's like very like a song that has a lot of fast like lyrics and stuff, like slow it down. And
Yeah.
and that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say ask if it plays at regular speed, because I think that's what they do in music videos when people
Sometimes,
record
yeah.
music videos.
Sometimes. Here, let's.
Do another one.
I can't remember.
You know
what
what'd
they
be
are,
fun?
so-
After we're done this episode, we should react to TikToks.
Yes.
You want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a little thing for YouTube or something.
Ooh, this should be hitting different.
Okay, that's not a great one for that kind of thing.
This should be hitting different.
Ooh, this one's fun.
Oh.
We need a glass of water and a glass of alcohol.
Do you want more red wine in there?
Just a splash.
Listen, I'll do it for the content.
Because here, this is the sound.
Sometimes I drink water to surprise my liver. And then, boom, back to work, bitch.
Actually, just give me the bottle.
Yes.
Because we'll just. So we'll use that sound.
Pro.
We'll just hold your water.
Sometimes I drink water to surprise my liver. And then, boom, back to work, bitch. Sometimes I drink water to surprise my liver. And then, boom, back to work, bitch.
You know what I wish? I wish I could send this to you to put on yours. Is there a way?
We're gonna call this a takeover.
I love
And
that.
you're just gonna slap TikTok.
I love it,
takeover,
with Tish.
page takeover, and yep, you're just gonna post my shit now.
I love it. That is such a good tip to slow it down.
And then you don't have to like do it 16 billion times. Like, yeah, you have to listen to the sound a few times to make sure you get the timing. But when you slow it right down, even if you fuck up that little bit,
right.
ain't nobody gonna fucking know.
No,
Nobody's gonna know.
No one's gonna know. I like
and
that
the thing-
sound. How would they know? No one.
No one fucking cares anyway. They're just like, oh my god, that's so great. But the thing is too, with the lip syncing with TikTok, what I've noticed, a lot of people just sort of talk like this. You can't really tell that they're talking.
It kind of bugs
You
me.
can't tell that they're lip syncing. You have to do a drag lip sync. You have
Yes.
to move your lips
Do you know what?
and make it happen.
I feel like I'm a good lip syncer. I wonder if there's a way that we could test, if you could help me with lip syncing or like critique my lip syncing. I don't know how we do this, but I pride myself in being a good lip syncer. You know what's a song I love to do is
I lip sync even in my burlesque stuff.
I Want to Love You Forever by Jessica Simpson. That part where it's like her.
I want to lip sync
belting.
S&M.
Yeah.
Because who wouldn't?
Here's the other question. So if you're actually just like, you just want to do a TikTok, but you don't know what, how do you search for sounds that you might want to use? Like, is it just literally your For You page that you're
between my For You page and there's certain creators that I absolutely fucking adore their sounds. Like, I live for their sounds.
So find like sound specific accounts, like accounts that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like for me, like there's definitely like movie scenes and stuff that I think would be fun. But like when I search for that keyword and nothing ever comes up.
Yeah, because if it's
search function
an
sucks.
original sound, people don't change the name of their sound. I don't even know how to change the name of sound. So if I created one, it would just be under like my name and original sound.
And
so,
should I
which
also
is hard, and it's kind of redonkulous if you ask me.
And if you want to create your own sound, do you just have to do that in post? Like you just do your editing in post and then you just add it?
Yeah.
There's no way to like do it through the app.
This woman is just CJ on TikTok. She is hilarious, and she will quote other people. So she'll use suggestions from her audience for things to say. And I've done a few of hers.
Oh, I love that one.
So I love her sounds. So I will search her page for sounds. Because she's just glorious and I fucking love her to death. And then I'll search drag artists.
Oh, that's a good call.
Because sometimes they have really amazing sounds.
But it like, so if there was a movie scene that I wanted to do but I couldn't find it, I would do my...
Yeah,
Ooh, how would I do that?
What I would do is I would probably film it separately. Kind of like I do my drag and my drag performances. I would film it, overlay the sound, and then save that clip and then send it to my phone, and then I would just upload that video to TikTok. Because you can upload, you can upload videos, and you can upload that, and you can like overlay new sounds if you want. But you could leave it as that sound. So if you had a clip from a movie that is kind of obscure that wouldn't normally be on there, just record it yourself, find the sound on YouTube, and overlay it, and then like it's a lot more work.
I could play it on my speakers.
But it's less work than trying to find it when there's no search ability.
The search sucks. I could play it on my speakers, record myself lip syncing to it, like from listening to my speakers, and then in post, like take the actual sound and put it over the video.
Yeah, that's what I meant by overlay the sound.
Yeah.
Overlay the sound onto the video, and then
it would just be a original sound, but then other people could use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. What a fucking wild world TikTok is. Here's my question to you. So are you a chronic scroller? Do you...
Oh my God, my thumb hurts.
It's such an addiction, right? It's so
the thing is, it's
addictive.
not even my thumb, because I'll be on my For You page and be like, ooh, yes, I like you.
Yeah.
And all the smiley faces.
Yeah.
I don't like to put words in my comments. Like when I comment on somebody's stuff, it's usually just a bunch of heart faces. Because I was like, ooh, boosting for algorithm. I don't have anything constructive to say, but I love you. Like sometimes it'll be something that's political that I'm like, okay, a smiley face ain't going to cut it here.
Right.
But like, or if it's something that, I want to do some uplifting and be like, yeah. Then I can find the words.
Right.
But
I want to start a challenge or a trend where you take old pictures, or like not even old, it could be any picture of yourself where other people were like, you look so hot, like your hot pictures, but then talk about how insecure you were taking them. Like I could be a picture behind me and I could just be like, yeah, I was sucking in a lot in this one, or like, yeah, right after this one was taken, I went and cried. Like, I kind of want to...
The truth behind the picture.
The truth behind the picture trend. Like...
I would be a mess. You see this glorious being, and I'm a fucking mess.
Do you consider yourself confident?
No.
In terms of, no?
No.
Really? That's wild.
It's a mask. I'm a different person. So the person you see, this Tishina, she is confident. Sunny is kind of awkward.
Mm-hmm.
The real person, just as happy sitting over there in a corner listening to all this.
Is there a way to...
I'm a Gemini. I have multiple personalities.
Oh my gosh. Oh shit. I love Geminis though. Some of my favorite people are Geminis.
It's okay. I love Pisces too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Geminis get bad reps. But like my best friend who died, like he was a Gemini. Frankie, shout out to Frankie, Gemini Frankie. But is there a way, or do you think that there is a way for you to translate the confidence you get when you're in performance mode to your everyday default life?
I imagine that there is, and I actually like to think of it as Tish is peeking out more. I think Tish is becoming more and more my real self.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm almost adopting her personality more than just being the quiet, don't fight back.
What's the difference? What is the difference between Tish and the real you?
Tish is loud. Tish is sexy. And Tish doesn't give a flying fuck.
Number one, I think that you could be all of those things. If
My real self very much gives all the fucks.
If you tapped in. Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm probably going to go home, take off the makeup, and be like, oh my God, I sounded like an idiot.
No way.
But that's, like, right now, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy what art and the mask of makeup and...
I want this to be me
the
all
armor.
the time.
It's armor.
Yeah. I want this to be me all the time.
Man, I feel that very hard, very much so like in a tone down from how you experience it, but even just being someone who wears makeup all the time and I really struggle with feeling at all pretty or confident without it, and I'm just like, I'd like to get to a point where it doesn't matter, you know, like
I do, because I'm similar in that way. Like on a normal day, I don't wear makeup, and that's where that subdued, don't fight back. No, if there's a fight or flight, this bitch is gonna freeze.
Yeah,
kind of thing. But when it's Tish, there's none of that. Like,
there's so much power in makeup, and it's beautiful in that way. But man, like if an apocalypse happens and I don't have eyeliner, I need to be, you know what I mean? Like I have to make it work.
Yeah.
And so like that's my thing with being high maintenance. Like I actually embrace being high maintenance. But I do want to bridge the gap a bit more, I think, at this point in my life between like that no makeup on, sweatpants version of me that very few people see. Very few. Like I would say only like serious boyfriends would see that and very close friends.
That's one of those you've seen me at my worst and you still love me. Oh, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's letting that guard down.
But it's also like if you're someone who's a glamazon, like I consider you a glamazon.
Aww.
I consider myself a glamazon. When people see you without it, it's shocking to them. It's kind of like seeing a man's face when he shaves. It's like it's
You're
just
not you.
And it's not good or bad. It's just different. But people don't know how to take that. And like I just think I look so much younger without makeup, but not in a good way, like in a bad way, in a way that's
I have no eyebrows.
Yeah, exactly. Like in a way that's like
you see this
not good.
definition? Yeah, I don't have that because my hairs are so blonde. It looks like I have like I might as well shave them.
Right? I don't feel like myself until I put at least a little bit of foundation on it and like fill in my brow and throw some. I think at the very least it would be a little bit of like either BB cream or tinted moisturizer or whatever. Fill in the brow a bit, throw mascara on. I would feel okay then.
I don't even do that on
But
a
I
regular
need those
day.
3. I need those 3.
Yeah, I don't even do that on a regular day. I don't wear anything.
And you go out in public too?
And I go out in public, but I am that subdued. I don't look people in the eye. It's very, like, unless I know you, I don't really acknowledge. Yeah, it's...
See, I hate going out in public.
And see, if I went out like this, I'd be looking everybody in the eye to make sure that they saw my shit.
That's insane just how much different you are with it. Like...
Yeah, I really should talk to a shrink.
I mean,
No, I probably
I don't think it's a
legitimately
bad
do
thing.
need therapy
I
in
don't
some
think
way.
it's a bad thing. As long as
I at least
you're
recognize
comfortable
that.
with the separation between the two. If you can find the good things in that person that you say is subdued and not as loud, and like, there's probably a lot of good things about that person.
Yeah, she's pretty chill.
You know? So focus on the good, I think, of that version of you, and learn to love that version of you. And
I
then
feel like I
maybe-
should be paying you.
I love this. I love therapy shit because that's the thing. I don't have a therapist. So I've been forced to be my own therapist. I listen to a lot of psychology podcasts too, which very, very much so help. Like I'm really big into attachment theory right now. I'm obsessed with that, which is like how you attach to people. And,
Oh, cool.
And like there's different styles. Like I'm an anxious attachment. So I'm a needy bitch. Like if I like someone and then they don't respond to a text, that's spiral town.
And that's scary because it's like, but what if they're sleeping?
Yeah, exactly. But like
I'm trying to get that through my kids' head because they will text me and not even a minute later. So I haven't even actually received the text yet. They're calling me. And I'm like, okay, if it's a panic situation, I get that because you're my kid and I want you to be safe. However, I need time to actually read what you sent me.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I don't take my phone to the toilet.
Yeah.
What if I was peeing?
Are you addicted to your phone?
Probably. I try not to be, but I'm on it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The addiction to social media is so real.
Yeah. And if we're not careful, it's going to turn into a crutch.
I think for some people it already has.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I get I made a joke on Facebook being like, I'd go to sleep, but I have to check in on people I follow on TikTok because I follow so many people who talk openly.
Yeah, I
about-
commented on that. You're like, bitch, if you need a laugh.
Because I feel like there's so much good that comes out of an app like TikTok in terms of connection and making you feel not alone and finding people who are similar to you. And, like it's such a great app, but I worry sometimes about people where it's like, I'm hoping that you're still developing relationships like outside of a phone screen, like in person, relationships, because oh boy, like what if the internet crashes tomorrow? What if TikTok disappears tomorrow?
I'll be like, that's
What are
okay.
you
I've
gonna
got
do?
all
And,
my
like-
stuff saved and I watch it over and over again anyway.
Yeah, and I often wonder if it's real connection or what it is. Like with the followers, what they have with their fans, and I worry about. I get pangs of empathy sometimes because I do feel like the more lonely you are, the more you rely on the internet for connection.
Yeah.
And that's a hard pill to swallow. But I will tell you right now, I think if I had more friendships, more active, good friendships in my life, I'd probably be posting far less on social media.
I feel like that was a read because I post so much.
No, but like
I'm
you
kidding.
you have a family.
I do.
So like someone like me, I don't have that. I'm still building that. So it's one
You got
thing,
me, babe.
It's one thing if you have your people and they're under the same roof as you.
Yeah.
You know.
It does make a difference.
Makes a huge difference. But also too, there's no fucking shame in posting because
Oh, no.
I do it. But I do also think that like we have a problem right now with being present. Like,
Yes.
and everything's posted and everything's recorded and everything's content, and even the podcast right now, like I'm present in the fact that I'm talking to you and we're having this conversation, but it's being recorded. you know,
Big
so like,
Brother's watching.
it's like people are watching, people are listening. So it's just kind of wild. I don't know. I should just go on a silent retreat in the woods.
Not right now. Please wait until June or July. Better yet, August.
Yeah.
There's less bugs.
Yeah, no, winter can't be, would not be. We got to talk about fucking kink and sex and stuff. We haven't even gotten there yet.
There's so much.
That was a weird transition into this, but we're at the end of the episode, and now is the time to get into the dirty stuff, because now
people have been drinking with us.
The true troopers will hear the juice. So before we recorded, I think I was talking about sex with you or something, and you mentioned kink, and then I said, "Are you kinky?" And your eyes widened.
I am an open book. Yes, I am kinky. I classify myself as a gender fluid, pansexual, kinky slut, and I am still not sleeping with you.
I'm a boring, straight sub who wants to sleep with you.
Okay, wait. We have to cancel out the boring, because as soon as you slapped sub in there,
I got less boring.
you got a lot less boring.
That's true. I have something at least.
She's vanilla with some sprinkles, baby.
With some spice. Love TikTok.
Ooh.
With some spice.
Throw some chili powder on that.
What? Okay, so first question. What's the difference between a kink and a fetish?
That is an excellent question, and I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, Google that shit. I don't know.
I often wonder that.
I feel, in my opinion, let's classify this, a fetish feels more like, for me, a look, whereas a kink is an act. But that's for me. Like, I know there are people with foot fetishes. I am not personally one of them. Not a big fan of feet. Not opposed to them. I just, whatever. But
is it? Yeah, but they like the
look of feet. Obviously, they have a kink if they like to do things with said feet.
As soon as they take it to,
But
I like to get.
Yeah, but that's
hand
my
jobs with
opinion.
feet.
Please look it up, because I honestly
please.
don't know for sure the
This
difference.
is just us talking out of our asses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do your own research. Yeah,
Please
but
do.
That's interesting. What?
And before you engage, research.
What was like your sexual like awakening where you were like, "Ooh, I just discovered something that I really into"? Did you have a moment or an experience?
Not specifically. I always remember, like, I was like, I did like girl guides and that shit when I was a kid and whatever, and I always liked the feeling of rope. It was not inherently sexual. I was a kid. I just liked how it felt.
Yeah.
Since then, Mama grew up.
Still likes the feel of rope.
She loves the feeling of rope. But now I know the difference between a lot of different kinds of rope. Like the feeling difference between coconut rope, which hurts like fuck, and something like a Japanese silk.
I didn't even know these types of rope existed.
Surprise! There are so many different kinds. So a natural fiber rope versus a synthetic rope. The kind of marks that they leave if you've been tied with them for a little while, and how that feels when it's finished.
I brought this up because I want my sex drive back, and it's already working.
You're welcome. Excuse me, where's the towel? Because
I've never been tied up. Something I really, really want to have happen. Like when I say sub, I mean like basic bitch sub. You know what I mean? Like I haven't done any of the bells and whistles, but that's something I've always been fascinated by is the rope play stuff.
Rope is just one of many.
Yeah.
So many. Oh my god. There's so many. But yeah, like I'm a switch.
Oh yes, okay.
So I will do top stuff, I will do bottom stuff.
Those are the funnest people. You're versatile.
Gemini.
There you go. Duality. Contrast. Uh-huh.
So so that's just one of them. Like, so I will tie people. I love being tied. Not necessarily in restrictive type, but like chest harnesses, because they give a little bit of compression and you can use it as a handle, and it's all good to fun. Reminiscing. Anywho. Yeah, good times. But that's just one of so many, and
right.
And like there's just so many.
Are you a big time sexual person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Because you said something before we hit record. You said kink isn't necessarily
It isn't
sexual.
inherently sexual.
Okay, expand on that. What do you mean?
So, for instance, you can have what in kink we call a scene. For instance, a rope scene. So you can get, tied up. You can be fully clothed while you're tied up. It does not even have to be sensual.
People do like rope shoots all the time, right? Like,
oh yeah,
like the rope photo
the
shoots.
shibari,
yeah,
which is fucking gorgeous, by the way.
I would love to do a rope shoot at some point.
Actually, some of my photos on Facebook are self ties that I've done with rainbow rope. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. The rope is so gorgeous. But like, so it's more about sensation than getting your rocks off sometimes. Yeah. Like, it's not inherently sexual. It can be incredibly sexual, but if you're working with someone else, that's one of the things that you need to talk about before you engage in said scene. So it's not usually something that's just jumped into without any talk, because they're with kink and that there's so much safety involved.
Yeah. Trust.
It's, SSC, safe, sane, and consensual. If it's not consensual, it's not safe.
Right.
There are things obviously that are like consensual, non-consensual, like, but that's, again, it's there's so many nuances. Just hit on mine. Consensual, non-consensual. One of my favorite scenes to play around with in my head is consensual, non-consensual relocation.
Okay, what do you mean relocation?
Consensual kidnapping.
Oh boy, because I have one.
There is so much legwork that goes into planning something like that to make sure that all people involved are comfortable with what's happening and are aware of what's happening.
Because how do you do that in a way? How do you pre-plan that? Do you sit down and go, okay, at some point we're going to do this. Let's cover all our grounds now and figure out how, because I actually have...
It's a lot of legwork. It's something I play, like, I've been into kink for a very long time, in my opinion. I have never done this thing because there are too many what ifs that I am not prepared to deal with the consequences with. And that is where it's safe, sane, and consensual. If I don't feel like we've covered everything, I can't do it.
Right.
Because there are too many what ifs. There's a lot of what ifs with kink anyway. Some of them I'm prepared to deal with. Some of them I am not. And I am okay with that.
Yeah.
And if I'm not comfortable with something, you have to be able to say so.
Yeah. And you have to be able to break those characters in, like, as soon as you're uncomfortable, or as soon as something's, because the kidnapping thing is interesting, because I've had experiences with people, and I'm kind of into rape fantasies a bit. I know that's
consensual non-consent.
It's hard for me to say it out loud because it's just a touchy subject.
But just because you have a rape fantasy doesn't mean you want to be raped.
Exactly. I had an interesting experience though where it was the other way around, and the guy wanted me to like rape him, and that was weird to navigate because I was just like, oh, what?
Yeah, and that's one of those things,
turning things on its head.
And that's another thing. It's like both parties, or all parties involved, because sometimes it's groups, right? But all parties need to consent. They need to be comfortable with what's going on. And if they're not, then it just doesn't happen.
And then how do you know in the moment if they're saying no because it's part of the act and fantasy? Or
that's
if
where
there's-
safe words come into play.
What's a good what's a good safe word? like
the standard
What's the standard? Pineapple?
standard actually it's the light system. It's
Red?
a light system. So depending on what you negotiate, red would be a full stop.
Oh, okay.
Full stop, check in, make sure everybody's okay, get out of whatever is going on, whether it's bondage or whatever, like full stop. Immediate go into aftercare. So whatever somebody's aftercare would be.
Thank
So whatever somebody's aftercare would be fuzzy blankets, water, chocolate, whatever it is for that person. So red would be a full stop. Yellow would be just hold up,
Slow down.
check in with me because we need to change something, but we might be able to continue.
Right.
So if it's a yellow with say a rope scene, because just we've been talking about rope anyway, maybe there's a knot that's hitting somewhere that's no good.
Right.
Or maybe you just need to change positions and everything's fine. So a yellow is a hold up, check in, we need to fix something. I don't know, I might not know what it is, but we need to check on something.
And then
if
green,
somebody
you wouldn't necessarily say green.
you
'cause-
wouldn't have to unless
green.
hello. Unless like you're into the mask or something. I don't know. But like if somebody wanted to check in with you to make sure that everything was good, because it applies to both tops and bottoms, like anybody can call any of the things at any time, and all are perfectly okay. So if they wanted to check in and make sure, for instance, that you're still verbal.
Oh, I'm verbal.
Some people go quiet. Like when they reach
Yeah.
a certain point, they might not be able to speak. They might not be able to verbalize the words that were negotiated.
That's true.
So if they can't verbalize, maybe you negotiated that if I go nonverbal, we bring things to a slow stop so that I can regain.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's a good thing. Maybe instead you have a set of keys in your hand, and if you drop those keys, it's a red. There's so many different things that you can do. But
Yeah.
the standard is the
That's such a
is the
good
light
suggestion.
system.
That's a really good suggestion.
So if you have a really hard time thinking of what would a good safe word be, so something that you wouldn't usually say during sex or a scene or something like that, like snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
But if you're almost nonverbal or something happens, how are you going to get out a 3-syllable word?
That's so funny. What's this DM?
I don't know. It was long.
I'm not a light worker. What's a light worker?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah.
We're talking about lights. I don't know.
No, that is like such a, but how do you pre-talk about these things? Or like, I mean, you should be do you talk about these things like as foreplay, or is it a conversation that
It
happens?
can certainly act like foreplay.
It could. And that's, I think 100%
100% can act like
suggestion for me.
foreplay.
Like make it a part of your like dirty talk with each other. Like when this happens, like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And in fact, I know people that negotiating is their scene.
Oh my God.
They're negotiating something that they know will never, ever happen. And it takes years for them to negotiate this thing. But that is their thing. And I just sit back and have some popcorn and watch the fireworks because it's hilarious.
It's hitting too close. Yeah.
But like,
Wow.
depending on what you're going for, like if it's something like light bondage, you know, the silks on the bed, just something to get into it. That's a good like starting point.
Yeah.
So like, hey, when you do a check-in afterward, like, hey, when I tied you to the bed and did this thing to you,
Was that okay?
Was not necessarily an okay. How did it make you feel?
like not a
Because
yes
if
or-
you have to ask, was that okay?
That's what I
You
was
didn't
saying.
have consent to do
There
the
you
thing,
go.
and you're opening a door to be like, no, that wasn't okay. I never want to see you again.
There you go. I'm working on a joke right now about and it's kind of a touchy subject because it's like about consent. But like I want it to be based around the fact that like I had this 5 sim back last year at a sex party. So I hooked up with 2 couples, and obviously this was like at a organized sex party. So it was one of the most consensual experiences of my life, actually. Like I felt very safe there.
That's awesome.
But part of the experience was like, because there were so many people and so many genitals, there was a lot of questions.
That's
and
valid.
At one point I go, just went, is everyone okay to be touched? And everyone was like, yeah.
You know what? That is enthusiastic consent, and you're good.
But I was just kind of like, I feel like there's a lot of talking, and I feel like we all just want to touch things and rub things, and like, let's do it. and if it goes further than that, then it's another question. But like, can we clear it off and say we're all down right now?
But the thing is, too, just before something happens, would you not find it incredibly sexy if someone that you were attracted to in any way, shape, or form came up to you and say, "Can I nibble on your ear?
Stop it. Stop!
Can I bite your neck?"
Oh, God. Probably at this point.
We're going to go with the number system. I'm going to start at a 1. And I want you to say yellow when you reach a 5.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, it would be really
like,
really
how hot would that be,
yeah,
right?
It would
and then
be
if you're
hot.
not comfortable, you'd be like, I'd really rather you didn't.
But you could.
But can I bite you?
Yeah, you could bring it back to, I'd rather you didn't, but this is what I would like. Like that's a way.
That's a negotiation right there, and like
keep it going.
How hot is that? Like that is
really hot.
like,
I mean, just whispering in the ear is just almost like a guarantee. Like you could probably say anything. You could probably just be like, "Can you do the dishes?"
I'd be like, "Bitch, get in there, do it yourself."
like honestly, it's just whispering and stuff like that. Really. Oh, I miss sex. I miss it. I hope I get to experience it again soon. I'm like, it's just fucking pandemic life is just brutal for the single people. Like,
I have nothing to say.
Yeah. That's good though. you got so okay, and so you're also polyamorous. So
yes.
Do you have different kinks and different things you do with different people?
I would if I had more partners, but my partner does several of the kinks that I like, so we're okay there.
That's good.
He does have a girlfriend as well, which is awesome for me. That means this bitch gets to watch a horror movie every once in a while because he's off getting his rocks off, and we're good.
That's a great joke. Because couples always watch shit together all the time.
I will not watch a horror movie with my partner because he's an asshole when it comes to horror movies. He will jump out the split second before the thing does, and
oh, that sucks.
it ruins it.
That's so funny that
I
you're
love
like,
him to
you're like,
death.
I love that he has a girlfriend, so he's off my hands for a bit.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And really the best part of that is I really like her.
Oh,
like
that's
she's
good.
a really great friend.
Oh,
so like
that's awesome.
she'll come over and we'll all just like play board games or, you know,
That's
just
great.
hang out. Like, and it's really great to be able to do that and have her as a friend.
That's fabulous.
The fact that she fucks my husband is kind of besides the point. Like, whatever.
Do you ask questions about what he does? Like,
No.
okay, cool.
Because I'm not worried about it.
Right.
He knows my boundaries, and if things change in whatever way that we had already previously negotiated, to be safe wise, that he make me aware when it happens,
right,
or if it happens, so that I can assess my own safety.
Right.
So we're
That's
pretty
amazing.
much golden.
It sounds like you have like a good grasp on it. Like sometimes I wonder about polyamory and like how hard
It's
it is.
not for everyone.
Certainly is not.
It is not for everyone. It is not a free pass to cheat.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. That's but
Communication is everything.
so what would cheating be in your situation?
Well, that's a great question because we're usually together.
Yeah.
So if we went out to say a kink party or whatever, and like we would see each other talking to other people and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go play with so and so," and be like, "Okay, have fun." you know the rules, like whatever, and it's not a big deal for us. But everybody has their own set of
system
guidelines. I'm hesitant to call them rules because rules are meant to be broken. That's just scary in itself. Yeah. So it's more like these are the guidelines that I go with because this is what I'm comfortable with.
Right.
Anything outside of that we need to discuss before things can go further, just for everyone's safety, both mentally and physically.
Yeah, interesting. You said kink parties, and now I'm like, I wonder if you're familiar with the one that I went to.
Probably not.
Are yours like more private?
Because kink and sex parties are a little different.
True.
So some are like swingers parties.
Yeah.
Some are not.
I wonder when those
there's so many different things.
Do you think those things are happening now?
They are
with the COVIDs.
Not with the established places.
No,
they are not with the established places.
Which is sad for me because if they were,
but at the same time, they're also not safe right now with COVID times.
No, they're not.
So it's.
Oh yeah, I guess I meant to say I wish they would be back and I wish COVID would be gone because.
Amen.
I could just go there.
We're gonna ding that because yes.
And if you go in there, especially as like a lone female, you have your pick of the litter. You truly do in terms of like.
However, you also need to be careful of unicorn hunters.
Oh, I know all about that.
I bet you do.
I know all about.
You're a single woman.
Well, see. Oh, and see that's the thing. That's interesting that you said that because when I went to this sex party, I was told that I was a unicorn, and I definitely felt all eyes on me.
You felt coveted.
All eyes on, but it was hot. I sounded hot.
See if that works for you. That's awesome.
It actually was very empowering in a really weird way. Like to be like, I'm stepping into this environment where now I'm not podcast Sarah. I'm not the Sarah you know from comedy. I'm not like I'm a stranger. Like these people don't know me. And they're like seeing
and a
me.
very sexual being at that point.
And it's very much so like you go in there and you know what's fucking going down. And like
no qualms. You know what's happening. Yep.
And you have the power to just and it's like no and then you can like go to work the next day. Like it's just it's really cool. I highly recommend anyone when the pandemic stops.
The thing is too though
to look into something like that.
The thing is too though with unicorn hunters and being a unicorn, it's not always necessarily that one-time thing. So when I say unicorn hunters, I'm talking about the straight male with the bisexual female that's looking for a bisexual female to join them. Yep. That is it.
Yep.
That is what they are looking for, but they want a throuple.
Yeah.
They want a three-way relationship with this other woman who might not necessarily be into that.
Yeah.
And they're projecting that onto that person. And that's not fair.
No. And
that's not fair at all. Like it's one
power
thing
dynamics too.
If it's one thing if all people are consenting and they know exactly what they're getting into and
the couples who are like looking for a third on Tinder, like those.
Yeah.
You get a lot of those Tinder profiles looking for a third.
Yeah. A lot. And it's everywhere. It's kind of rampant. And I hate to say it, but we were that at one point.
Looking for a third?
We were looking for a third, but not necessarily. It was for like one-time things kind of deal.
Okay,
because I was experimenting with my bisexuality at the time. Now I classify myself as pansexual. I fall for the person and I play with the bits they come with.
Right.
But it's different now because I'm like, okay, if you have a relationship with that woman, I don't have to have a relationship with her. She doesn't have to be bi. I don't have to fuck her. She doesn't have to want to fuck me.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Right.
Or I can have a partner of any gender and they don't have to be interested in my other partner.
That's right.
And there's no pressure there. Like they don't even have to like each other if they don't want. Like
Yeah.
Makes things a little bit more difficult. Don't get me wrong. But there's no, this is how things have to be.
Yeah, it's strange to navigate that.
There's so many things.
There's a lot of things.
There's so many things.
It's strange. I always wanted to do the threesome thing, but for me, it was as a single lady. I was always like, I think the ideal threesome would be literally just 3 individuals, not necessarily coupled, but
just 3 random bodies getting in the heat of shit.
But
no, just kidding.
Getting in the
Safety
heat of
first,
shit.
people.
I heard someone talk about it on a podcast actually about the weird sense of comfort that you might get from being a third to a couple because you know your place. It's very defined. There's no confusion. And that to me is appealing. Like if it was just like
at the start of it, yeah, that would be. But the thing is, feelings grow.
But what if,
and it doesn't always.
What if they were strangers visiting or something? Like what if it was like a very special situation where
well, then that's a very special situation, and each situation is different.
I'm good for you.
I'm stating from my own experiences.
Yeah.
So for me,
yeah,
it's these things.
Right. So it's people developing feelings and then it not being consistent all the way around. Is that kind of the thing?
People are inconsistent to begin with, so there you go.
Yes, they are.
Things change. And you have to navigate that. And that's where, like with polyamory, communication is everything. Like there gets to be a point where, hey, I'm having more feelings for this person than I ever anticipated. And this is you talking to one of your other partners, if that was the case. And sort of hashing it out with them. Not like fisticuffs, but like,
yeah.
Be like, hey, I'm not sure where this is going, and help?
Yeah. You mentioned anchor partner, which I've never heard that term before, and that's an interesting term. So, like, would that be considered like your primary partner?
In a manner of speaking, like I don't really like the hierarchy.
Yeah, that's
thing.
Like
I started off
weird.
very much as like hierarchy. Like I've been with this person for this long, so they are my primary partner. They come first all the time. I came across the term anchor partner a few years ago, and I was like, I really like that.
I like how it sounds. It's like your
that's your like home base.
Home base. Yes, that's a great way to say it. Your
like,
everyday person.
Yeah. Like my partner and I, my anchor partner and I have a house. We have a kid. We have been together for 16 years this summer.
It's wild.
Sorry,
your brain just short circuited. You're like, holy shit.
Totally did. There's a few wires crossed there. But like, he's very much my anchor.
Yes.
Partner.
Yeah.
So like, because I know he's there.
And you're also married, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, there's kind of like a legal thing too.
Yeah, in the eyes of the government.
Yep. Yeah. Do you ever get jealous?
Absolutely.
Jealousy
is normal.
How do you manage that?
I talk about it.
With
him.
Yeah.
Like if I'm having an issue, like with a previous partner, we had, I was having real issues with jealousy, and I later learned where that jealousy was coming from, and was able to work through that. But jealousy is it's a normal thing, but it is not a classifier of love. So just because you're jealous of someone or jealous of a situation does not mean that you love them any less or that you love them more because you're jealous. And that's just, it feels so possessive.
Right.
Which it is. Jealousy is a possessive thing. But being able to talk about it with the person is so much nicer to be able to do. If you're not comfortable talking with the person about your feelings, be like, hey, yeah. I'm feeling this way. I don't like it. I'm not sure where it's coming from. I need some reassurance from you, or I might need some time to sort this out for myself. Can you, and maybe work out what needs to happen to help work through that for whatever reason is happening, because situations are always so different and nothing's cut in stone. But being able to talk about having those feelings is kind of huge, because you can't work through it if you can't vocalize
and if
it.
You're not,
You can't,
and you're just
or figure it out for yourself even.
Repressing, and then it becomes, things are coming out in terms of like resentment, and it'll just make things worse if you don't talk about it. And who better to talk about it with than the person you're involved with? Like,
Exactly.
You
and
know?
if you feel like you can't,
that's a bad
that
sign.
It might be a red flag.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily for that person, but maybe for you.
Yeah.
As a person, like, hey, why am I feeling this way? Like, there's no reason for me to feel this way, but I feel this way and my feelings are valid.
Right.
So why?
Huh.
Why is this happening? What can I do to work through what's going on in my brain?
Don't you wish therapy was free?
Oh my God, so much.
I think I might splurge and treat myself and
To a therapy session.
Honestly,
Bitch, who needs a massage? I just need to talk somebody on a couch and cry.
You know what would be fabulous? A combination of both those things. A therapist that's also rubbing your back as they therapize.
I don't even know where to go with that one.
Yeah, I don't even know where to go.
Okay.
But I was thinking, I'm like, I either want a massage or a therapy appointment. I'm like, the first therapy appointment, you don't usually get a lot out of it.
But if you're completely relaxed, you might let go some more.
So maybe I do massage first.
Yeah, maybe.
I could really go for a massage. I just adore you, by the way. Like, you have such a colorful life. I'm like,
No, that's just my eyeshadow, bitch.
you are colorful. Even the subdued version of you is colorful, because you're colorful on the inside, and that's what fucking matters. Yeah, I think you're amazing, and we're gonna wrap up the episode, but I have 2 more questions before we wrap. I ask these to everybody, which is something you love about yourself and something you don't like about yourself that you're working on.
Ooh, juicy.
We're all about self-improvement.
That's true. Something I love
But
about
also
myself.
about self-love, because that's important. And don't say something superficial like my eyeshadow's flawless. Like, don't something.
I was gonna say my boobs. Shut up.
say something deeper than
Love
that.
my boobs.
Well, the boobs are
my
great.
boobs. Okay,
How big
ribs.
are they? How big?
38D.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Knockers.
Anyway.
Great. Yeah. So is it just the boobs? You need more.
No.
There's more. There's so much
something
great
I
stuff
love-
about you.
This might sound superficial, but I love that I can support other people. I am in a place.
That's a great one.
I'm in a place where I am doing okay. Like, I'm doing all right financially. I like, when I do shows, I don't need it. I don't need it for the money. So I get as many people as I can that might not be in as good a place,
Yeah.
and I make sure they get paid.
Right.
It might not be a lot because, with COVID times and things, it might just be, by donation. But
Which,
it's
by the
going,
way,
it's going to other people.
Donate. Absolutely. If you're consuming a drag show, fucking donate.
Drag isn't cheap.
It's because I think same thing with comedy shows. People in these industries are humble as fuck, and they just love doing what they do. And I think that sometimes it's very hard for you to say it's $20 or it's $30. Like, it's hard for us to put a price tag on something and stick to it. So we say buy a donation, but really you're consuming something that took so much work. And if there's a donation link and you don't donate and you watch the whole show, like, what the heck? Like, just donate.
The very least you can do as a consumer of drag, comedy, what have you, is share the fuck out of it.
Yeah, if you don't have money,
can't donate,
that's
we
true.
don't care. But you might know somebody that can.
Yeah, share it. Spread the word.
Share the link. Make sure lots of people are watching, and then more people can donate. They can tip the performers. They can do that, and we can make sure that people get paid, especially in these hard times.
My God, that's so true. Yeah,
Speaking
that's a very
of
good
which,
point.
January 30th, there's going to be an impromptu drag show. I'm doing it on Zoom. I'm going to be posting the Facebook link at some point. I have to create it first.
So actually, when this comes out, it'll be, because I actually have next week's episode. So it's actually, this episode will come out the day before.
That's fine. So tomorrow,
bitches.
it's on Facebook. Check it out. It is called COVID Showcase with Tishina Tush on Facebook. I gotta make note of that because I gotta put that in. So, COVID Showcase with Tishina Tush, and we've got at least half of the performers are BIPOC, and we need their voices heard, and they are all fabulous performers. So I beg you, come watch the show, enjoy, and share the hell out of it, so that we can get these fabulous people paid.
Absolutely, dang.
So there's that. One thing that I am working on. Everything. I am working on everything. I am working on my mental health through drag and through burlesque, and I am just going to keep giving her.
Right.
Just keep giving her.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay.
And during COVID times, okay is fucking fantastic.
That's right. Where can people follow you?
Well, they can follow me on TikTok because I love it, but
yes.
Random
Oh my
shit.
God, please follow her on TikTok.
So my link on TikTok is Tishina Latush _ Day, and I'm sure I will provide the links.
Yeah.
Sarah here.
You getting them bitches.
I'm also on Facebook, Tishina Latush, and on Instagram, Tishina Latush _ Day. Most of my stuff on my Instagram is actually just reloads from TikTok, so there you go. You get
gotta cross-pollinate. That's just how it is.
I can't be bothered to do two different things. It's one and the same. That's it. Oh, and I have a YouTube.
Do you have YouTube?
So the performances that I've done online so far, except for maybe 2, are on my YouTube channel.
No way.
Yeah.
I'll link to that too. That's amazing.
So yeah, so you'll be able to see at your leisure Krampus Darling, my parody of Santa Baby. It's a little kinky and a little slutty, and I love it.
Loves it.
That's how we roll.
That's how you roll. Oh man. Well, I adore you. And thank you so much for coming on. This was a wild ride of a conversation.
Thanks for having me. Thank you for feeding me wine. It was delicious.
Anytime, and we'll definitely do an Instagram live at some point.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Just let me know when you want to be in the bathtub, and I will be there.
I love
Well, not
that
in your
idea.
bathtub without your consent, but anyway. Consent is key.
Consent is so key. Well, you already did it, but I'm gonna make you do it again.
I'm okay with this. I like dinging things.
Tishina, you can ring the bell. Ooh, so like
Saucy.
So saucy.